be like, oh, that's his family. Y'all was never that close.
Sister.
It's like you don't even know them people like that.
Sister.
You don't know them people for real. What up, y'all? What up, world? We here. We back.
I got my own mind.
Yo, for real, that's how we started? Do the whole thing now. Now I need to hear you do the whole episode. Do the whole intro.
He said, I got my own mind. I got my own style and my own time.
All I know is the secret and attitude, sister.
No, but you singing the old one. You guys sing the.
I don't know the new one.
You remember when they got older and it was more black? Remember it would start and it like.
Oh yeah, this is the one where they actually was like, oh nah, Roger, you cool, you can hang out. They don't just kick him out no more.
That's because that wasn't Roger no more. That was Batman.
Yo,
shout out to immature IMAX.
First of all, there was a post that I seen the other day about like those braids.
Yeah.
Yo, I never realized he was literally like one of because that was a thing for like 90s young art. He really did look like one of the Set It Off cast members.
Yo.
Like he had the joints or the chick from Living Single. Is it Living Single?
You talking about?
What's her face?
Jada Pinkett?
Nah, not Jada Pinkett. I'm talking about that's from Set It Off. I'm talking about you ever seen? Is it Living Single? I think it is.
The dark skin one.
Yeah, the dark skin lawyer. Yeah. He had the Maxine cut.
Maxine,
that's what was her name.
Maxine. Fucking, they all had that shit. Menace to Society.
Yeah, son.
The fucking Kane.
That was son. But you know what it is? Kane was different though, because like I know he was in a movie, right? But would you step to somebody like Marcus Houston and what's the dude's name? Damn, what's the actor's real name?
Who?
Not Old Dog. What's his real name?
Lorenz Tate?
There it goes. You got these two dudes. Both of them got that hairstyle. I ain't gonna hold you. It don't look like a dangerous hairstyle, but now picture that hairstyle with some black forces.
Listen, now.
See, that's a danger. It could be dangerous. It's about context.
The 90s is crazy because both of them was pulling that style off, but they were the complete opposite
Complete
characters.
opposite.
Because like Marcus Houston's Roger was just a fucking dweeb. Like, and then when you see him outside the show, he's like, this nigga sang.
Yeah.
Like he had Kel rapping on one of those songs
That's
like
right.
he was gangster.
That's right.
They did the fucking song for Good Burger. Kel comes out as Ed, and he's talking about my crew is strapped with gats.
Yo, Batman and Romeo, he needs a mic so I can flow. LDB, make it funky from here to Mexico. I can do it fast or slow, it really doesn't matter though, cause I'm a pro. What you say, you wanna take me toe to toe? No, dude, I don't think so. My crew is strapped, my style is fat. Ain't immature's got my back on this funky track. You want fights with that? Cuckoo, what you gonna do?
I'm like, whoa.
Time out. First of all,
This is a Nickelodeon movie.
You're gonna also have to put the link for that somewhere if you can find it. Cause
You haven't seen that shit?
Nah, I don't
He said, my
remember
crew is
seeing
fat.
that.
My crew is strapped. And everybody's like, don't get it twisted. The verse was fire. Shout out. Shout out
Is this
to
from the
Kel
Good Burger soundtrack?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go back and listen to that.
It's Immature featuring Kel, and it's called Do My Own Thing. I'ma do my thing. Watch me. Do you remember that song? Watch me. Everybody sing.
Remember when they was at Mondo Burger and they had the guns with the ketchup and the mustard?
Yo,
That's what he was talking about.
After he says my crew is strapped, the nigga ends the verse saying cuckoo-ca-choo.
Yo,
Cuckoo-ca-choo, what you wanna do?
Yo, you know what's crazy? Now that you said that line, I'm like, I think I remember hearing this song. So like when I was younger, because the cuckoo-ca-choo, that sounds very familiar.
Yo, he rapped in the Ed outfit. Yo, that shit was hilarious. All he did, it was so funny because he came out as Ed doing the dance. And then they like shook the screen, and then he had all black on, but you could see the Good Burger outfit on underneath it.
Son, they didn't care. They were having fun.
But
you know what was worse than Cuckoo-ca-choo? And the only reason why is because this guy was older. LL Cool J when he hit that Zih-Zih-Zih-Zih-Zih.
That's my shit, though.
Zih-Zih-Zih, bruh. Really?
You like that song? Shout out to Jennifer Lopez.
The song is fire. Like, I enjoyed the song, but yo, he really spends like a good 50 seconds just Zih-Zih-Zih-Zih.
On the way home. But you know where he got that from, right?
Nah.
That's African Bambaataa in the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh,
man.
I thought he was just like, a B was in the studio one day and was like, Zih-Zih. Just, he was like, yo, that right there, yo, give me a minute of that. 60 seconds of just Zih-Zih.
Planet Rock.
Zih-Zih,
They do
Zih-Zih,
that
Zih-Zih.
on Planet Rock.
Yeah.
Everybody gotta rock it, don't stop it. You gotta rock it, don't stop it. You gotta rock it, don't stop it.
Yeah.
And then he was just big up in them. Yeah.
Zih-Zih.
Zih-Zih-Zih-Zih.
Zih-Zih.
Right.
So the
He's
more you know.
dancing and shit. Now. Woo-wee.
Yo, for somebody that was saying they was hurt on the way into the studio,
Look at
you don't look hurt over there.
This
son.
couch is comfortable as shit. Shout out to us not having a guest today because this couch feels real nice.
I was about to say, yes, son, you don't got the damn. You blooded out, son.
No. This ain't. This is a different shade of red.
that counts though. Son.
Nah, I don't think this is blood colors.
You don't know?
That's soup. This is whoop soup.
Yo, the crazy. See, I really hate you, and then you know why I really hate you? It's like you planned it out. So you got red Coca-Cola. Yeah. The world is yours is red. The couch is red, and you got red cups by you. They can't see those, but
Listen,
and I'm supposed to believe that you ain't planned it out like that.
I am not gang affiliated. Steve, don't be back there ad-libbing that shit. Listen, we for everybody, okay? We peace. We don't color bang.
Says the man with the red suit on the red couch.
We don't color bang. You in a blue couch. We
Yeah,
good, bro.
that's it. That's why we can't sit together. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. Shout out to all the hood. We gonna call them hood fraternities.
The hood fraternities.
Shout out to all the hood fraternities.
Nah, the history behind gangs is deep though.
Don't get me started because when listen, all the Greek life. Shout out to y'all. I know y'all preach positivity. Y'all doing y'all thing. I remember I was talking to somebody that's a part of Greek life. I'm not gonna put their name out there, but I can tell you they wanted to kill me when we was having this conversation because I wasn't saying that fraternities or sororities are gangs, but I said to them, you do understand people join frats for the same reasons that people join gangs.
Okay.
And that was the kind of reaction I got to that. Like, what does it mean?
Okay.
Don't think just because you're doing it from academia and you're in school that if the motherfuckers in the street had the same access to do that, you don't think they would do the same thing?
Okay.
It kind of come from a sense that, like, when people join frats, to me, and y'all can always correct me if I'm wrong, when people join frats and sororities, I don't want to say that it's that they can't stand alone, but they feel like it would be an easier path if they joined this crew. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between motherfuckers joining gangs? If you in a bad neighborhood and you feel as if in your heart you can't make it out of your situation, the last straw is, well, might as well join the motherfuckers in my area.
Yeah.
I might as well be down with them. At least I can kind of be protected a little bit and have somebody to have my back. Mm-hmm. Frats do the same. I've seen guys who wholeheartedly hate each other, fight for each other because they're in the same fraternity.
Mm-hmm. I ain't never think of it like that. I never thought of it like that. Cause like, you know, cause like I understand like the concept of what you're saying. Yeah. You know, like the fact that just like you join it for a particular reason. Now, only reason why I don't agree with it. Okay. And it's not on some shit where it's like, yo, cause you know I was part of. I think that's more of like emotionally charged. So like probably whoever you was talking to, they probably thought of like their frat and was like, oh no, we're not a gang. And also the word gang is very heavy. So it's like when you say it, they instantly think like, oh, you're associating us with people who do things violently.
And that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
But the crazy part is initiations into fraternities tend to be, and I didn't join a fraternity for the sole purpose of when I was interested in joining one. I heard so many stories about the hazing process.
We know one person who got really fucked up.
And that story
is what turned me off.
So like I won't say that they full out gangs, but I see, like I said, I see where you're coming from, but I wouldn't call them gangs. They're more like, Because a gang, their purpose is to nowadays cause chaos.
But the original purpose was.
But the original purpose was to protect the neighborhood. Like gangs were so affiliated to protect the neighborhoods that weren't being protected by the police at the time.
And to advance their people.
Exactly. It was a bigger reason. So like the saying a gang now. If you would have been like, yo, y'all are like the Black Panthers, he probably wouldn't have took it the way that he took it.
But that's the issue, because he, instead of listening to what I was saying, he was comparing the words.
Yes.
And that's not what I was getting at. I was just talking about the mindsets.
Yeah, because if you even think about a gang, right? When we were growing up, I heard stories about what it takes to get into a gang, just like I heard stories about getting into a frat. Like in a gang, most of them you got to get jumped in. In a frat, they be having them paddle parties or whatever the hell they call them things.
We don't know.
I don't know what they're called.
We don't know.
But my whole thing has always been, why do I need, like, for your comparison of like gang and frat, it's like, why do I need to jump into something like that? And then I'm supposed to go like, oh, nah, it's cool that you was just whooping my ass and hazing me and throwing baby powder in my... All this other bullshit that they be... And it's not all of them, because I can't say that. I've talked to people who are part of frats that say like, yeah, that's what they do at that chapter. They be wilding, but we don't do that over here.
Everybody's not the same. I would say this. I almost did it myself, and I think the transition for me would have been easier, because for playing any organized sports in high school, especially in our day, it's literally a fraternity.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally a fraternity.
Exactly.
Like the hate. People don't like to use that word, but let's call it what it is, because people hear hazing and go, "Oh my God, that's traumatic." No, it was a rite of passage, and in most parts, it was a good time.
Yeah,
like we didn't do no crazy shit.
Because hazing is a spectrum to hazing. Like I could just poke the bear, like make fun of you, make fun of your name. That's how hazing.
Yeah.
Or you could do the wild stuff. Hazing, though, like you said, it's the word that holds a lot of weight.
I'll say this: the worst that happened to me in the hazing process was I got hit with a garbage can. But
like, see, that's why you like wrestling so much.
and it wasn't like one of them big ass hard garbage cans. This was like them small plastic garbage cans.
Oh, okay, like the Rubbermaids or whatever.
And it wasn't thrown at me maliciously. We used to think.
I didn't know there was an unmalicious way to throw a garbage can.
It is. If you big as hell. So if I walked in here and like lobbed the garbage can at you, I'm giving you an opportunity to move out the way, which means I'm not trying to hurt you with intent.
But you need to pay attention.
Yes.
And if you would have paid attention, you wouldn't have got hit. Okay, all right.
Exactly. So
yeah, that drop will always work.
It was funny. The thing was, the target was never like aware that they were the target.
It was like getting dunked on. You know what I'm saying?
So we would all walk in, and everybody just, this nigga about to get rolled. So everybody will be doing it, but no one knows who's about to get hit with it. So everybody that was the thing. Once somebody started up, everybody got
to go. Okay.
All right, boom. And so everybody just looking around like, all right, who getting it today? So in this particular day, it was me, but I didn't know. So all I see is the garbage flying, can fly in the air. I'm like, oh shit, but it wasn't thrown at me. It was lobbed.
Okay.
So I looked up. I'm like, who the fuck throwing garbage cans? And as I looked up, everybody just started rolling with me. I'm like, all right. It was my turn, but it was funny. You feel me? Like I didn't. No one took it as like, oh my God, they're trying to.
Because they didn't stomp you out and like beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? It was literally like you play fighting with your cousins and your brothers.
It was like soft-handed shit. Like and I feel like. That shit like that builds team camaraderie.
I agree.
And that's why in sport, and we're gonna get back to what we were talking about, but I feel like that's why in sport, teams aren't teams anymore. Because you can't do shit like that. Yeah. And granted, they stopped it for the right reasons, because motherfuckers were going overboard.
There were people who were wild. Because remember, wasn't there people who like acted, like wasn't that when bullying was like a thing where they was like, yo, you're bullying him, and that happened in the NFL? Like, didn't someone like get like kicked off, suspended for doing that? It was college. All right.
The craziest story in college I heard that somebody took a broomstick and that's OD.
That's a lot.
That's too much.
Then that's when you say like, y'all having fun. This is what y'all consider fun. Yeah, I don't need to hang out with y'all. Like if that's what y'all consider fun, I'm good.
Nah.
No can do.
But like I was saying, I don't want to disrespect anybody. I don't want to disrespect anybody, because I know when those conversations I had, like you just said, people just automatically hear that word gang and just assume, oh, it's horrible. No, like look up what the definition of gang actually means. And I'm not talking about the legal term.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the word itself. It's just a group of people with the same common goal. That's what a gang is. So when we say gang, we're not like, oh, I'm about to shoot somebody.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck? Like, these my bros.
But it has a negative connotation now because every time you see somebody bring up gangs, it's always associated with violence.
Listen, so what I was getting at, like, the more you know. But what I was getting at when I said it, it was literally just like, yo, if these street dudes, which I've seen a lot of street dudes have the opportunity to get higher education and end up joining frats, if they had those opportunities, it wouldn't be a street gang. It would more than likely be a school fraternity or sorority. And that's all I was getting at.
Yeah.
But, you know, once you hear it's a gang, no.
And it's like, you know what's crazy though? That's for a lot of words just in general.
Yeah.
Because like, but then it also comes down to the person that you're speaking to, you know, the terminology and how it's used. Because like you said, gangs is a bad term now, but think about why it's a bad term. Like, if you bring up weed, it's a bad thing to talk about.
Not anymore.
But think of
Not in
no,
Jersey.
no, still people will. I've been in areas where people will smoke weed. And they'll be like, "Oh my God, it smells so horrible."
That's different.
And but they'll stand right by people who are smoking cigarettes.
No, listen, that's different. I know you more of a more than a
yeah.
You're more than that than I am, but it's a difference, and it's all about scenarios and conditions. If you're on a train, if you're in public transportation,
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't even. I shouldn't hit a whiff of that shit.
But people who smoke cigarettes get on the train smelling like cigarettes.
Not all the time. And let me be real.
It happens.
Let me be all the way real with you.
Go ahead.
Just because you enjoy it.
No.
The smells are they both stink.
Agreed. We can agree with that.
Certain strands of marijuana
Agreed.
smell horrible.
Agreed.
So, like,
that is very true.
For example, when I'm Ubering, one thing I can't fucking stand. This is not your car. Don't get in my car smelling like weed, bro.
Agreed. Spray.
Yeah.
Go for a walk around
Dead
and then
ass.
call someone.
Air
Like,
your shit
be mindful.
Yeah.
Or what does it say? Be demure about the situation and go for a walk before you call your Uber, right?
Not very demure. Wasn't very mindful.
No.
And like, it doesn't happen. I don't Uber as much as I used to, but it didn't happen often. The last time it happened, I remember the dude got in the car, rolled the window down. He's like, "Yo, can I roll the window up?" And I told him, "No." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because I'm on the road more after I drop you off. I can't have people getting in my car smelling that."
Yeah.
So now if I don't air my shit out, they're gonna think it's coming from here. I get bad ratings. Uber kicks me off the app.
And then
because you want to get in the car smelling like shit.
Yeah.
No, thank you. So if I roll this window up, the alternative is I report you to Uber. Now you're paying more for my cleaning service.
Okay.
Which one you want? It was cold as hell. He's all right. You can keep the window down.
Yeah.
Like, be mindful of the situation.
Yeah.
So like, I get what you're saying that.
I meant more of an outdoor space.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people do it outdoors. Like I don't think you should be smoking cigarettes, or I don't think you should be smoking anything on the inside.
No.
You know, because then it's gonna make everything smell.
We both work in the city. There's not a day now that I go into the city to where I don't see somebody smoking weed, and this is early in the fucking morning.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's legal. They're allowed to do it on the street now. So it's like fuck it. People just don't care. Like, and I mean like. I don't mean like the guys who be on the street in the city. I mean like motherfuckers in business suits.
Oh, bro. I've witnessed dudes in business suits, Midtown Manhattan, walk into a dispensary, walk out with a pre-roll, and it's like, because they probably were doing this for years. I don't know what they do.
We must be in the same area because I work like 3 blocks from the Chrysler building.
Well, my office moved to Brooklyn now, but where? Because we used to work on Broadway.
Okay.
We was on Broadway and 34th.
Yeah.
So right there, like literally right there by the garden. So like it's all over the place. But where I was going with it is, it's just like to your point of like cigarettes versus things like that. It's just, I was more so saying like words, just things in general, the way people interpret shit. We're now in an area where it's pretty cool that people are more mindful. They're thinking of like other people in certain situations. But then you have other situations where those aren't being thought about. So for your example of like frats and gangs, this person who you're speaking to knows who you are. So it's like if they know who you are, they should take a moment to go like, wait, Sean's bringing this up. Let me ask him what he means by that. Because I know he's not a malicious person.
And I say this. Fuck you said that.
No, I say it a lot because I'm a culprit sometimes too. But it's like, if you give people grace when you speak to them or you know who they are, you're less likely to have these moments of like, oh, let's get into this. If you try to understand, like, wait, hold up. This person isn't trying to do that thing. It's this person. But again, I'm a culprit of it sometimes too. But if we could just be mindful of it, I think you'd have less moments of those like headbutts moments and more of like, let me at least understand where you're coming from. Like how when you said it, I was like, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I see where you're going with it.
And
because we don't have to agree and then walk off. We can agree to disagree and be like, yo, you want to talk about something else?
Yo, and I'm so fucking happy you brought that up because I had completely forgot about it, but when you bring it up, I'll speak on it. Shout out to Reggie Watts. Y'all know who Reggie Watts is. He's a comedian. He also does music, like comedy music and stuff like that. So I happen to be a supporter of Reggie Watts. With everything that's going on in the world right now, climate change affecting crazy hurricanes, tornadoes, and then
shout out to, I hope everybody in Florida is good. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Definitely. I got a cousin out there. He said he good, but shout out to my cousin. I'm glad you good, but my bad. Go ahead.
You don't have to mute me. I'm not going to turn it into what I usually turn it into. But but the thing is, if you're into that world, which I'm fully divulged into politics, they're trying to play with people's lives and make it a political thing. If y'all not aware, before Milton was Helene. Helene hit in the same kind of area. Helene was a weaker storm, but then Milton hit like a week and a half later.
Yeah.
So they got hit back to back. When people need the help, a lot of those states are led by Republican leaders. With these, just like both parties now, there's different sections in each party. So with the Democrats, you have your liberals, you have your progressives, you have your far left. Republicans, you have your far right, you have MAGA, and then you have actual like conservatives who are just of the conservative mindset. What the MAGA Republicans did that lead those states that were affected, they voted against FEMA aid. So then when the hurricane happened, people were like, why isn't FEMA helping us? It's not that they didn't want to help. Your state is literally denying it.
Yeah.
So now it's like, why would you, and they're doing this so they can then go and say, hey, Biden, Kamala, you guys didn't want to help during this hurricane. No, you're literally blocking it. Like you said, you don't always have to agree with people, but shout out to the governor of Georgia because he can somewhat lean towards that MAGA crap, but he knew his people needed help. He was like, yo, I'm not playing with this.
Yeah.
He got on the phone with them. He got the aid and the help that his people needed for Helene. That's what it takes to being a leader. I don't have to agree with your agenda, but when my people need it, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. So I bring up Reggie Watts because Reggie Watts put a post up yesterday about the help in Florida from Hurricane Milton. The post says, it sucks that we can't control what our tax dollars are going towards. Our tax dollars are often being used to support genocide and war, but yet people who are in need of hurricanes and things of that nature aren't receiving the help, and that's wrong. I wrote underneath the post, Reggie, you have to be mindful of what you're posting in your position, because Reggie's very, I won't say very liberal, but he's liberal.
Okay.
I'm like, you have to be mindful of what you're posting, understand what you're actually saying, because this post can be seen as MAGA rhetoric.
Okay.
Because obviously, once the MAGA politicians denied it, they immediately went on the defensive saying, hey, why aren't you helping these people? Not telling the truth, like, hey, we denied this, so you guys can't get it. So that's all I said. Reggie himself and a few other people who support Reggie started attacking me for saying that. They don't know me, which is okay, because the worst thing I could have did was like fight back at them.
Yeah.
Somebody even went as far as calling me Blue MAGA. I thought it was funny. It's very clever. Blue MAGA. But I didn't get mad because I'm like you just said, I had to realize in that quick second, they don't know who I am.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are. So instead of fighting them on it, let's have discourse. Let's have a civil discourse. Let's talk about this. So I responded to the 3 people who said something to me, and they didn't respond back to me because I don't think they felt like, oh yeah, he's right. It was just more so when people realize that you're not attacking them, one of 2 things. They either going to say, well, thank you for this conversation, or they're just not going to respond because now they see like you being level-headed.
Yeah.
So all I said back to them was like, I agree with you guys. Our money shouldn't go towards war and genocide. I'm free Palestine all the way. Because one of the guys was like, oh, what are we even talking about? What are you not understanding that all he's saying is we shouldn't be supporting genocide? I'm like, that's not all he said.
See, that's what you wanted to talk about. But that's not all he said.
If he would have left it at the first line, I would have been completely okay with it. But in him adding the second part of it, he's saying something that's not factual. And then he'll have people who actually need the help believe that they can't be helped. And that's not true. That's all. And that was my response to him. I'm like, we don't know each other, so I'm not going to attack you guys. But if you followed me, and I'm like, you guys are welcome to follow me. My page is public. The podcast page is public.
You know what I'm saying?
Come follow us. Come become a scholar. You can see that that's not how I operate. You understand? Like, I'm not for that shit, but we also have to be mindful of what we say and what we try to combine with other words that we're saying, because then that can completely just kill our entire point. And I said to Reggie, too, I always respect him. I'm still a fan. I don't like how he responded to it, because instead of having a conversation, he kind of immediately shut it down and was like, well, this is why I'm just cut the comments off and post like this, because responses like yours are just unnecessary. Don't post anything and expect not to. One thing I hate is when people post stuff. It's called
social media. Like,
what
are we doing here?
Especially public figures. I hate when public figures post things and they'll do shit like turn the comments off or tell people like, I don't care what you say. No, don't post things and don't expect a response then. Don't post at all.
They were talking about this ain't about Reggie Watts. I was listening to Hot 97 because I was going down to Philly. Bluetooth. I'm talking a lot about the bullshit. I was going down to Philly listening to Hot 97, right? Yeah. Ebro was talking about, there was like a person who called up the show and they was like, yo, y'all always got something to say about Drake, blah, 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 blah. And he was saying like, yo, Drake is one of the most well-known people in the world.
Facts.
For you to think one of the most popular people in the world isn't going to have people saying things that you might not agree with is crazy.
As hell.
So Reggie Watts being someone who's well-known in whatever circle you want to look at, of course people are going to interact with you. You're someone who has a platform. If you don't want, and that pisses me off too, because it's like, I don't post a lot of stuff on Instagram. Why? Because 1, not everybody needs to know. And 2, if I really like it, I'll send it to the people that I want to see it. And if I want you to see it, the world can see it. But I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, damn, I'm upset that this person said that one thing in the comment. And if that was the case, then I should have just kept it to myself.
Straight up.
Because then nobody will say anything if I keep it to myself.
And you know how disrespectful I can be to certain people.
Yeah, I will say, I must applaud you, sir.
I appreciate it.
Because you didn't go at them. You didn't attack their character. You listened to me and said, you know what? I ain't going to do the back and forth. I'll just get my point across and call it a day. I'm proud of you, son. I'm proud of you.
At the end of it, like you said, I appreciate it. Not like you said, because at the end of the day, it can't just be pointless energy being wasted. Like there's people I'll still go back and forth with, and that's because I get off on that a little bit. But my thing is like when you know you're talking to people who are coming at you from a place of good, the worst thing you would do is try to attack them back. Even though they did come at my neck a little bit, I didn't. Like that, I told the guy, I'm like, that blue maggot shit was clever.
Yeah, that was clever. I'll give you that one.
I'm like, I like that. But I'm like, you, if you knew me, I'm far from that. I'm a progressive like a motherfucker. Like, I'm not liberal. I'm very progressive. So, and I don't think people understand the difference between the two. Like, I don't deal with a lot of shit or agree with a lot of things that we do as a country. To a point when I've said this to people that I'm really close to. I've said it to you. I've said it on this show. Like, a huge part of me, I keep saying when I retire, I'm leaving the country. A huge part of me feel like I should do that sooner than later.
Bruh, if I can get something fully remote, I just need if I move to another country, I got to find a way to make whatever dollar amount is greater, follow me. So if I'm going to the other country and that dollar amount is greater than America's amount, then I'll take their money. But if this money is better than over there, I'm gonna work over there. I'm gonna live over there, but I'm gonna work over here to get that money to live like a king over there.
Because it's like
absolutely,
it's like if the goal is if the goal is to live at peace no matter what, we got to stop putting ourselves in situations that don't make sense. And this goes into something else, and I'll try to be quick with this because this was hilarious. The person I told you a couple episodes, shout out to Ariel, the episode Ariel was on, when I told you about the person that I was having a discussion with about all the MAGA shit.
Yeah, all that.
So that same person posted something in the form of a question. He wanted to have discourse, and I like that because he didn't flat out put this post up and say, oh, this is how I feel. He asked everybody, how does this make you feel? And the post basically was China's basically banning a lot of books or practices that the gay community can have over there. And my response to it was, they banned gay people from being on TV.
Okay.
So my response to that was, why can't people understand that representation matters? This whole new thing of, there's an agenda to try to make us or make children gay to me is nonsense because it's always been there. Like I can go back to the early 90s and Low Down Dirty Shame, but you didn't think that fucking what was his name, Wayman?
Yeah.
You didn't think he was. They didn't have an agenda about putting him in the movie.
Yeah.
You feel me? All these shows we used to watch back in the day had gay people on it. It's just that now, all right, some shows do push the envelope a little bit. Like Power was having gay sex scenes last year.
Yeah.
Now, it made me feel uneasy, but it's a good show. I'm not that childish to be like, oh, I'm never watching it again. No, there was a penis up there. Like how that sound? Like, I'm comfortable enough to my sexuality to be like, okay, well, I don't like it, but whatever.
That's the part where you get on your phone while they doing that. It's like, because I don't know what's going to happen 10 seconds later, but I'm not trying to watch it, so I'll do this.
And that's why I said, that's the end of the quote. I'm like, and what makes me mad is that people are like, oh, it's an agenda, it's an agenda. Turn the channel. Your kids see it, or your kids see somebody at school and they got questions. Be a parent. Talk to them.
It's really not. Granted, I know that the world that we live in, that what they're trying to say, but we had this conversation before too. You know what you like, and it's not inhibited by what you see. Yeah. Like, I just know if I see something that I like, and it's like, oh, I know I like that. That has nothing to do with the fact that it's like, oh, for example, I love Reese's, like the Reese's chocolate. It's not because I keep seeing Reese's commercials. It's because Reese's tastes good.
It's like, oh my God, I saw that Reese's commercial.
Oh, I've been seeing Reese's so much. I just love them now. Like, no, bro, they taste good. And I like it. That's it.
That's what killed me about that, because I was basically getting at all the points of what me and you were saying right now. And I'm like, why is it hard for people to understand that? Somebody else we know responded like, oh, when you become a parent, you understand. I'm like, miss me with that shit. Because that's a lazy argument. Oh, you don't have kids, so you don't know. Fuck that. Because I tried to.
Because I was about to say, you got nieces and nephews that you've literally raised. But, that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, if people know you, they won't make certain comments.
But the fucked up part is this person knows me.
That's
so
the crazy
I brought that
part.
up. I'm like, yo, that's crazy for you to say that to me. I'm like, and I don't want to hear that. And they ask, well, if your nephews have conversations like this, how would you handle it? I'm like, crazy part is we have had conversations like this. And I brought it up so they can know no matter how they are as a person, if they have any issues in this world, they can come to Uncle Sean because I'll solve it. Yeah. You're not about to have my nephews and my nieces feeling like they don't matter. You're not about to do that to them. And I don't play that shit, especially when it comes to them. Like, let one of them come up to me and say like, oh, well, I don't think they are. But if one of my nephews walked up to me right now like, Uncle Sean, okay, I'm like, how do you feel? You okay?
Yeah.
Like, are you better as a person by telling me that? And if the answer is yes, then I'm like, we good. If they feel like they need help, then we gonna go get you help. But I'm not gonna make them feel less of because of that. And I'm like, that's what's wrong with people. And then we go back to the TV question. I'm like, representation matters. Yeah. You know how I prove my fucking point?
How?
Tux. Me and Grace was home. Grace turned Garfield on to watch the new Garfield movie. Tuck's little ass is in front of the TV like this. Not moving. When I show this clip, I'll put the video up. Just was watching this shit. She watches TV with us a little bit, but then she'll get distracted. She was not moving. She's watching
like,
this shit.
Oh, damn, that's OG, triple OG just talking.
And why is she watching it? Because she see a fucking cat on TV.
I ain't gonna hold you. That's a wild statement to make that representation matters because a cat was watching Garfield.
and I posted it underneath that thing. How the fuck cats can understand it, but we don't?
Yo, it's like, because I remember when Boosie was getting pissed off about it. I remember everybody.
The shit that Boosie just did with his daughter. Like, come on, dog.
And this why, for me, it's like, I want to say I see where y'all are coming from, but I don't. Like, and this is, because I try to see where everybody could be coming from, but like, I get what y'all are trying to say, but it doesn't make sense.
None.
Because I have family who are gay, who are lesbian, who are straight, and it's not like they said, well, you know, I've been watching these things ever since I was born, and it just made me like this. I have a cousin who's a lesbian who had boyfriends. She understood, this ain't for me. I know what I like.
Plain and simple.
And that's that.
Plain and simple.
I love my cousin. That's my sister. So for me,
homie.
And for me, it's like, that's why when I hear those things, it's like I low-key get a little upset because what you're doing is you're discrediting that community by them saying like, oh no, they're easily influenced. Because that's what I'm hearing. I'm not saying they're outright saying that, but that's what I hear.
I tell you this.
It sounds like y'all are saying they're easily influenced to just follow what they see on TV. And that's the problem. I don't agree with that.
Listen, and I'm so happy you said that. What we at 3? If you feel like you can be influenced to be gay, bisexual, trans, any of that, I hate to break it to you. You're already those things. If you think somebody can talk you into being gay, what Ice-T say? I hate to break it to you. You're gay.
You know what I mean? Like, because how would someone persuade you? Like, you're saying you see something, you go, I think I would really enjoy that.
That dick looks really good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yo. Think about Superbad. Remember Superbad? He was drawing all the penises and shit like that. He didn't go like, you know what I like now? He literally was like, yo, I think I had a problem, or I just like to do this or whatever. He was into, granted, it's a movie. I understand all of that, but where I'm going with this is, I find it hard to believe that y'all are saying, unless you're saying people are easily influenced to do things that they don't want to do. That's wild. That's wild. Because what it sounds like to me, no one can persuade me to do something I don't want to do. If I don't want to do this, you can say whatever you want, and I'll look at you and go, all right. Cool. I've had people come up to me when I was in college, be like, yo, bro, you want to try some coke? Because remember, I won't say to college because I won't, but I knew some white boys in college who they was really into that shit. You know what I'm saying? Every single party we went to, yo, bro, you don't want to try? You don't want to try? No, I don't want to try. Like, what are you talking about?
It's an influencer who's from that college right now, and I swear he's on that shit because all he does is...
They used to be wild.
You know exactly what
I know who you talking about, son.
I'm not going to put his name out there.
Yo, and there was one time I was like, yo, I might stay on campus. And then I heard stories about living on campus. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. Nah. It's not even on some shit where I might be tempted. It's on some shit where it's like, I'm going to be really annoyed. Because if I end up in one of the dorms with the people that be doing that shit, that means they're not going to be sleeping in stuff like that. And then I'm going to get into it because I just want to go to sleep because I got class at 8 in the morning. And y'all want to keep partying on a Tuesday.
They was in them hills from real.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were in them hills from
trying
real.
To get some blow. They was in there wild.
Where the blow at, baby?
Where the blow at, baby?
Nah, but yeah, listen. Look, I say that from the bottom of my heart. And you brought up the Boosie thing. I can never rock with Boosie ever. The man just, his brain is just fucking. It
just doesn't make sense, bro.
I've heard a song when this motherfucker was literally talking about 2 bitches in the backseat kissing. His daughter is a lesbian. He kicks her out. I don't want her to influence the rest of the house. Mind you, this man literally admitted on camera that he paid to have his son and nephew molested.
Yes.
And no one bats an eye at that shit.
No one.
And I don't give a fuck.
You know what? I will say I have had discussions with people. So there are some people who have paid attention. The masses don't care.
And bro,
the masses are like, well,
that's
you
why
know.
Anytime he brings some shit up, I'm like, I ain't listening to this nigga. He don't know what the fuck he talking about.
Speaking of irrational thoughts, being that we have a little bit of time left, I'm going to take the wildest of left turns because I've been thinking about something and I wanted to bring it up. Steve, chime in if you want. I was literally thinking, because I'm into nature movies, like nature videos, documentaries and shit. Yo, imagine if a praying mantis became the size of a human, like the average height.
Oh,
and hear me out. Have you seen how praying mantises like get busy when it comes to fighting?
You want to know how it's gonna happen?
What's up?
all the women are gonna dominate because there's gonna be no heads for men left.
Son, have you seen a praying mantis? Like, I've seen a praying mantis fight a scorpion. I've seen a praying mantis fight a wasp. Yo, they do the same thing. They just bite your head off and suck out the juice's paws. And it's one of those things where if a praying mantis became the size of a human, son.
Did you have a nightmare about this shit?
No, it was a random thought. We'll talk about the random thought when we go off camera.
It's the worst species to become a male.
It was because the thing about it is, like I said, I watched those documentaries. I've been into those since I was like a little kid. But praying mantises, they're butts so big or whatever.
Yeah,
but I watched them like go at other insects. Bro, if they became the size of a human, no, I told you it's an irrational thought. I don't think it could ever happen.
Listen.
But if it does, yo, we're doomed. We're doomed, son.
Speaking of irrational fucking fears and thoughts, y'all have seen the robots that Elon Musk just introduced yesterday?
The ones that could babysit?
Yeah. Yo,
you seen, bruh, you seen it.
I'm about to be on my Will Smith.
I see. Yo, you better start doing your pull-ups in the bathroom and all that.
Fuck that shit.
I'm telling you, son.
That robot's gonna be like EXE, throw child.
Yo, listen, I have learned everyone has a different form of art, and when you think about movies, it's an art that hasn't come to pass yet. So all they say
often imitates life.
Remember, they would say we was gonna get flying cars and all that stuff. No, it hasn't happened. But remember all the things about iRobot, like we just said, Poltergeist, like all these things that are now things that they're saying are actually happening.
They had a full-on conversation with that robot, and it wasn't like the robot had to sit and think. We were saying it was fluid. I'm like, no. No, thank you.
The moment that robots gain consciousness, I'm leaving the planet. Well, I really hope there is a rocket ship because I'm leaving.
You created
What am I doing here? What is my purpose of living? What is going on?
Life? If I hear that question, I'm gone.
It's about to be gone. It's about to be Ultron all over again. You created us to establish peace. The only way to establish peace is to eliminate the human race.
Damn. Well,
they've been talking about a civil war. We ain't talking about war with robots. Fucking Elon
war.
Musk.
That's the metal war.
Yeah, that just listen. But I told you it was an irrational thought. I wanted to get that out before we get on out of here.
If it happens, they're gonna call it Metal Gear.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Metal Gear Solid.
I hate you.
Metal Gear Rex.
Snake.
Metal Gear Rex.
Yo, but we gonna let our guests introduce psych. We got no guests today.
I'm gonna say somebody coming through in the last minute. Steve gonna be pissed.
That's why I got my arm out. There's an invisible person.
Now you know what? We'd be pissed because Steve wouldn't even keep the cameras rolling. He'd be like, "Y'all know what time we supposed to be done. Peace."
Listen, it's been real. Don't be hateful. Let people live at peace.
Yeah,
and just
love each other, y'all.
What Bum D say? Read a book, you illiterate son of a bitch. Scholars, no talent beats. Play us out.
It's been real, y'all. Be good, gang. And remember, we mean that in the kindest of ways, as a group of people who have come onto our platform.
And also, rest in peace to Turkey Leg Hut, man. Oh my God. I'm so sad. It's gone.
It's really gone this time. It's really gone.
No more trips to Houston.
No. I mean, that might be good for your pockets.
Nah, I have no reason to go.
Yeah, I was about to say. Damn, son. Came and went, son. You only had it twice.